Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Kaizen Academy. I am Safiullah, a post-graduation in zoology. I am handling science subject for high school students from past 6 years. I'll be teaching you science. As per the government prescribed textbook, SSLC, the science textbook is divided into two parts. The first part, part 1, has 8 chapters. The SSLC textbook has got two parts. First part has got 8 chapters. Second part has got 8 chapters. So there are totally 16 chapters. I'll be reading out the chapters from part 1 and even in part 2. Part 1 consists of chemical reaction in equations, the first chapter. So there are totally 16 chapters. Part 1 consists of 8 chapters, part 2 consists of 8 chapters. Since it's only two parts are available, two books are there, you no need to scratch your head which chapter comes under physics part or chemistry part or biology part. I'll make you can mark it in your textbook so that it becomes easy that which chapter comes under which part. The physics part consists of chapter 1, that is electricity, the second, magnetic effects of electric current, magnetic effects of electric current, the third, sources of energy, and you have got light chapter and human eye and the colorful world. These chapters comes under the physics part. Chemistry part can consist of five chapters. The first chapter goes by name chemical reaction in equations. The second chapter, acid, bases and salts. Metals and non-metals, metals and non-metals. You have got carbon and its compounds, and you have got periodic classification of elements, periodic classification of elements. These chapters comes under the chemistry part. You can see here chemical reactions and equations, acid, bases and salts, metals and non-metals, carbon and its compounds, periodic classification of elements. So 5 chapters come under the chemistry part. Biology part, the biology part consists of life processes, the second is control and coordination, how do organisms reproduce, third chapter, how do organisms reproduce, You have got a chapter called Our Environment, and the last is Management of Natural Resources. You can mark it in your textbook. You can write it to the side. The chapters as P beside those names of the chapter: electricity, magnetic effects of electric current, sources of energy, light, human eye and a colorful world. Chemical, under chemistry part you have got chemical reactions and equations, acid, bases and salts, and the third is metals and non-metals. The fourth chapter, carbon and its compounds, and the fifth is periodic classification of elements. Under the biology part, you have got life processes, control and coordination, how do organisms reproduce, our environment, and management of natural resources. So these are the total chapters which are being covered in two parts, textbook, part 1 and part 2. So before diving into the first chapter, that is about the chemistry, the first chapter goes by name chemical reaction and its equations. Chemical reactions and its equations. This is the first chapter under part 1 textbook. Before diving into the topic, let us try to recall certain things which will help you out in understanding this chapter. Let us try to recall what we have learnt in our lower classes. Something called as physical and chemical changes. Physical changes and chemical changes. Physical changes and chemical changes. What is a physical change? A change in which no new substance is formed. As a physical change, no new substance is formed. Is a physical change. A chemical change, you can see new substance is formed. Physical changes are generally reversible. Chemical changes are irreversible. Chemical changes are irreversible. A chemical change happens with a chemical reaction between any two substances. A reaction between any two substances, okay, you can see a chemical chain and a new substance is formed. In a physical chain, no new substances is formed. Here, the identity of a substance will remain unchanged. Let me give an example to you. Take an example of melting of ice. An ice cube which you have taken on a plate or in a beaker starts to melt slowly, and you can see the ice which was there is converted to water form. Ice got melt and it converted to water. Okay, you don't see any new substance forming any new substance there. Water is remained as water, but only the change is the change in the state of matter. Ice was solid in state and water was liquid. Water is in liquid in state. So this change only you can see. So here the identity of a substance remains unchanged. You can see that happens in a physical change. In a chemical change, as I said you that new substance is formed and the change is irreversible. It happens with a chemical reaction. It happens with a chemical reaction. So this leads to the formation of a new substance. And here the substance, the identity of a substance will not remain same, it will change. You can write it as a reaction, simple, that A plus B gives us to C, like what you have learnt in your previous years, what you have studied. So you can see a new reaction being formed, like rusting of iron. Okay, when iron is exposed to air, the moisture present in air and the oxygen reacts with the iron, and there you can see the formation of rust. Okay, that's a best example for chemical change. Formation of rust is an example for chemical change. So this, why I am telling you this, because this chapter completely deals with the chemical changes. The first chapter, chemical reaction and equations, deals with the chemical reactions and its equations. So you have to know this. Now next, let us go for the next thing is, in your 9th standard science, you have learned something about law of chemical combination. Law of chemical combination. There are two laws under law of chemical combination. The first law says about law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. The first law says that. Now let us see what is this law of conservation of. We will try to recall it. The law of conservation of mass, to be very simple, it says that the total mass of products is equal to the total mass of reactants. The total mass of the products is equal to total mass of the reactants in any chemical reaction. In any chemical reaction, the total mass of products is equal to the total mass of reactants. This law is called as law of conservation of mass. The law of conservation of mass states that in any chemical reaction, the total mass of products is equal to total mass of reactants. Now let me give an example for this. Example, that CaCO3, it's a calcium carbonate. When it is decomposed, okay, it gives you CaO and CO2. Now if 100 grams of calcium carbonate is decomposed under, that means if a heat is supplied, the calcium carbonate decomposes. Okay, 100 grams is decomposed into 56 grams of calcium oxide and 44 grams of carbon dioxide is released. Now by applying the law of conservation of mass, you can see the total mass of a product is equal to the total mass of a reactant. 100 grams of calcium carbonate, okay, when it is decomposed, you can see 56 grams and 44. So now mass is neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. Now this will also help you in learning the chemical equations, balancing of the chemical equation, balancing of a chemical reaction. So this was about law of conservation of mass. Next, let us go see some more things, so that it will help you in understanding this chapter, the first chapter, very, very easily and very clearly. Let us learn about something about recall about valency, valence electron and valency. Okay, valence electrons and valency. Okay. Now the electrons which are present in the outermost orbit is called as valence electrons. The nucleus is present in the center and the electrons are revolving, and the electrons which is present in the outermost shell, okay, these are referred to as valence electrons. Okay, valence electrons. Now these electrons help in the formation of bond from one atom to other atom. So the electrons present in the outermost shell are called valence electrons. They are present in the outermost shell. These electrons help in the formation of bond, which leads to the formation of compounds. Compounds are being formed on this basis. So such type of compounds are called ionic compounds. Ionic compounds, wherein the electrons are the outer electrons which are present in the outermost shell, they involve in bonding, or one atom gives its electron to the other, they share electron, leading to the formation of ionic compounds. So the valence electrons are the electrons present in the outermost shell, and valency is the combining definition of valency is the combining capacity of the atom is referred to as valency. to see the list of valencies, you can see, refer to your old 9th standard textbook, page 51. You can see the names of elements is written to the one side and the atomic number and atomic mass, and to the last column you can see the valencies of those elements are being mentioned. You need to go through it, and you need to memorize, you need to keep it in with you, so that it will help you in understanding the chemical reactions and in balancing of the chemical reactions. You should know the valency of the elements. Now let us try to understand one more concept called what is an ion. What is an ion? Okay, to be very simple, ions are the positively charged or negatively charged atom is called as an ion. A positively charged or negatively charged atom are referred as positively charged or negatively charged atoms, okay, are referred to as ions. Okay, a positively charged is referred as cation, a negatively charged is referred as anion. A positively charged atom is referred to as cation, a negatively charged atom is referred as anion. You can give an example of Na plus is a cation, because this it has got a positive charge, and chlorine Cl minus is anion. You can go for the refer page 37. You can see the list of the ions given. Okay, sodium Na plus, Cl minus, potassium K plus, magnesium Mg2 plus. You have got, okay, then H plus, then you have got ammonium ion NH4 plus, then you have got OH minus. Okay, you can see the page number, refer page 37 for the ions and their names and their symbols. Now you need even to recall the names of elements, okay, and their symbols to be kept in mind, so that it will help you easily in understanding the chemical reactions, and you can easily, okay, read out the names if you know the names of the elements and their symbols. Okay, like if a reaction is given, and if it is given in a statement form, you have to write it in a chemical reaction. So that to write it in a chemical reaction, you should know the symbols of the elements. So first 20 elements you must have memorized completely in 9th standard. Let us try to recall the same element and their symbols in today's class. Like hydrogen has got 1, its atomic number 1, the symbol is H. Then we have got helium, He, then beryllium, Be, lithium, Li, then beryllium, and so on. You have got 20 names of the element names along with the symbols. It is been written. Please keep a chart with you, periodic classification chart. You can easily go through the periodic classification chart, wherein you can see the names of elements along with the symbols is been mentioned, such that it will help you in understanding this first lesson very, very clearly. So some more extra elements, not only 20, which you have already memorized in your lower classes. Some extra elements, names and their symbols, you have to keep it with you. Like an example, cobalt. Okay, cobalt, you have to write CO, small o. Then you have got iron, Fe. The symbol of iron is Fe. Then silver, Ag, gold, Au, then manganese, Mn, then zinc, Zn, barium, Ba. Okay, so these are the extra. Uranium, uranium, the symbol of uranium is U. These are some of the extra elements and their symbols. You have to keep it with you so that it will help you in understanding this first chapter, chemical reactions and its equations. Okay, I'll repeat once again the names of elements along with the symbols. Okay, what you have memorized in your 9th standard, the first 20 elements, along with the 20 elements, some more elements which are being displayed here. You have to go through it and you have to keep it with you so that it will help you in writing the chemical reaction very easily. So this was about the names of element, a brief introduction of the first chapter, chemical reactions and its equations. In our further class, we will try to write some of the names of the compounds along with the formation of, we'll try to learn the names of compounds with their chemical formulae in our next class. So please refer these page numbers which are being which I'll be telling you from your 9th standard science textbook. Page 37 for ions and their symbols, page 37 to see the ions and symbols, page 24 to see the names of elements along with their symbols. So these are the things you have to keep it in with you so that it will help you in understanding the first chapter very easily. Thank you.